Hello everyone, welcome in. Welcome to Fine Moon Rising. This is your Pisces June 2025 Tarot and Energy Sigil. So what you're seeing right now is me pulling out your cards to direct the sigil. And the first one, of course, is the Emperor. And that is you taking charge. You taking charge with empathy. You taking charge with heart. You taking charge of everything around you. That's your starting point, right? I think you've kind of found inspiration. Maybe it's a boot to the butt. You know, something that has occurred the last 3 months. You're like, okay, I'm good. I'm done, right? Something like that. So you do have the King of Cups next, and that just means you're going to do everything with heart from here on out. If your heart's not in it, you will get bored and you won't do it. You will not progress. But it's like heart, mind, and soul all has to be in alignment and together in order to keep your interest long enough for you to change things, okay? To leave a situation, to move forward, to do whatever you need to do to advance yourself. Okay, and you do have the Chariot. That just means get moving. It's time to get moving. These are also steps forward that are calculated. You know, we do not want the horses to run away with us. And so it's kind of having preparation to move forward. And so you'll see me right now figuring out the sigil. And what I do with that is I collect inspiration from the tarot cards. And for you, I move with heart. Okay. And so I write down that sentence and then remove all the vowels, keep the consonants, and then create a sigil from there. Now you can create a sigil. It looks any way you want. I'm using those Sakura oil pastels for this. And let's move into the tarot shortly. We'll be seeing a picture of the tarot cards that I have pulled for you. Okay, we are going to be starting with overall energy of the Ace of Coins, followed by the Seven of Swords, as well as the King of Wands following on. Okay, so working energy for your financial advancement is here, and also creating your reality. I feel like there is an interest, and we'll get to that later in the reading, but there is interest here for you to create this reality. Mold it to how you want it to go. And then we have the Seven of Swords. If there is something that you would like to work on, we need to keep it quiet. Don't share it with everybody, because you know what? Everything's not fleshed out anyway. You haven't created a solid plan. And even when you create that solid plan, unless you had like the day of is probably when you'll want to share with it, or when you're well down the road of this plan, instead of, you know, broadcasting it to everybody so that they can give their input. Just keep it quiet. Do have the King of Wands, and the King of Wands is here to let you know that if you would like to be an entrepreneur, if you have a business idea, then you should go ahead and invest some time and energy into that in this month. Okay, let's move to the astrology for June 2025. And I'm not an astrologer, but we will do the best we can. So around the new moon, you're going to be reassessing your goals. What is still relevant for you? What can we let go? Do you have a goal that you've been working on for the past 10 years, and then now you're looking at it and saying, why am I doing this? It could be something that is kind of dragging you down, meaning your heart's not in it. You're just kind of going with emotions, going very robotic, and you're not in it anymore. And if that's the case, then you're just going to get burned out on it. You might already be burned out at it, and I feel like you are actually dropping all those goals and creating new goals for yourself. So what can you detach from your life plan, and what can you keep? What can you add in? What do you have interest in? Okay, so with the Jupiter trine, I think it's I don't know what deacon, whatever. Again, I'm not an astrologer. Mid-month, there will be prosperity, success, and an increase in confidence, okay? And if there is a travel opportunity, I feel like you might be taking up on that. Even if it's just, you know, you're learning astral travel or something, maybe you can't leave your hometown, something like that. But there is reason for you to take a little trip, even a day trip. Maybe if there's some like go to a forest, a lake, something that is natural that can kind of recharge your batteries. It's important to recharge. Okay. Also mid-month, good news coming in. and an increased ability. Now this goes with your confidence as well, to negotiate. So if then any deals are on the table, you have a few legs to stand on, really. So you're able to negotiate deals very well. Also be wary, depending on where Mercury is in your sign. There could be some rebellion happening. You could, and I feel like for you, it's just that kick in the pants that you're feeling. You're like, why am I here? Why am I doing this? And then you have that extra energy to change it, okay? Just be calm and step by step. End of month, you're going to come into a place of calm and balance. Love is possible if you're interested in it, and also money-making opportunities. Okay, so you are starting with the Four of Swords in your tarot, and this is a resting time. It's almost like you're taking a step back because, like everything, I feel like the past 3 months was probably just too much. I feel like it's just overwhelming, and I feel like maybe just like mentally you might be exhausted. Maybe your heart is tired. You're just tired. And so I feel like you have taken a step back on some things. Because, and see, the Ten of Wands was in your past, and that's why I say something has been a burden. Something has just, been controlling your life. And I say controlling your life because you have the devil in your conscious reality. So something has not only been a burden, but it's been controlling. It's been consuming. And I feel like you're just going with emotions, and it's like now you're ready to get out of that. Now you're ready not to deal with that anymore. Okay, you do have the Temperance in your subconscious, and that is that balancing. And we talked about end of month is going to be very balancing for you, and so I feel like that is what's happening for you. You do have the Two of Cups in your future, so if you're looking for romance, it is available to you. Also, it's things coming together, new plans, some new goals, something that makes you excited, something that gets you out of that stuck rut, something that is creative and fun and exciting and just lights your fire. That's where you're headed. Okay, we do have the King of Coins, and that's how you've been approaching everything. How can I fix this? How can I mold this to, you know what? Maybe you can't mold it. Maybe you have to just leave it, move on, and then, go somewhere where you have the ability and the interest and the drive to actually change it to how you want it. If you do not have that ability and you're stuck in this situation, you got to tweak it, well, then tweak the situation. Get creative, get spontaneous, find interest in anything you can, learn more, meet people, collect your tribe, talk to your network, things like that. New ideas, bounce new ideas off people who are in the know, but don't tell them exactly what you're doing. We do have to keep things private, okay, especially finances. All right, we do have the Queen of Wands here, and the Queen of Wands, she does hold something back, and that's why I'm saying we just got to keep everything on the down low right now until everything is fleshed out. So, but the Queen of Wands is the energy around you. You do have the King of Wands and then the Queen of Wands showing up, so it could be a very passionate encounter if you're interested in that, or passion in, evolving in a particular relationship. Okay, but there is something here about creativity and an increased energy in creative endeavors, creative in your business, creative in your career path, and creative in your relationship. Okay, Two of Wands is your advice. So open that Pandora's box. If there's something that you've known that you needed to do, that you want to do, could be anything. It's time to open that Pandora's box. It doesn't matter how big or how small. It could be something like, you want to learn to mountain bike. Okay, fine, go mountain bike. I don't know. But open that Pandora's box. It's going to spark some creativity. It's going to get you unstuck. It's going to allow you to change your goals, mold your goals, move yourself in a different direction. You do have the Moon and the Five of Coins, and I don't love this combination at the end, but for you it makes total sense because of that calm and balance that's coming at the end of the month. Now, this is once you kind of formulate a new plan, make those new goals, and have your step-by-step process for following through with any kind of dreams, desires that you want to accomplish. It's going to cause this kind of back and forth, like, oh, am I going to be alone? Am I going to have to do this alone? How much work is this going to be? Because I don't think you're bringing certain people with you. I think this is a path you may have to walk alone. That doesn't mean you're not going to collect other people on your path, because again, love's available to you, but it's just kind of that weird in-between phase where you are reflecting on what you've done in the past and moving it right into the future. And that's kind of like a no man's land, and don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid of that change. You're just going to feel weird for a time, but I think you're going to be on the right path, moving forward. You're getting yourself unstuck. You are doing the things that you need to do, big or small, and you're taking care of, you're molding your reality, your future reality, what you're doing in the next, year, and how you want to go about this next year. And so I feel like there's definitely a plan of action happening that's going to allow that balancing out energy. You're not going to be running around chasing your tail, any of that anymore. You're not going to be feeling stuck, and you're just going to feel like you have a new purpose. And so that's very important. It just can be that kind of awkward time in between, one phase of life to the next phase of life. So that's kind of what's happening for you in the future. And okay, Pisces, we are almost done with our sigil here. I'm just kind of smearing stuff around. These are Sakura oil pastels, and it's actually really hot where I'm doing this, so they're melting for sure. But if you enjoyed this reading, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next month. Okay, thank you, Pisces.